A Valley paper carrier is being hailed a hero, but it was not for delivering papers, obviously. The inspirational story coming up tonight at 5 o'clock. Pulling a woman from a burning building, trying to bring a freeway crash victim back to life. Kind of sounds like the stuff of superheroes. But as Javier Soto shows us here in the Valley, those were the acts of everyday heroes.
Miss Miller is all smiles thanks to her hero, Jason Hittinger.
Considered a hero? No, but glad to be part of the team.
This is Mesa fire video from the early morning of August 4th, when only minutes prior, while delivering newspapers, Hittinger saw something was wrong.
And I'm driving down Capri and I could definitely see and smell smoke, but I wasn't sure where it was coming from.
He quickly learned it was coming from Miss Miller's home.
There was no response. The screen door was locked, so I just knocked and rang the bell.
That's why the Mesa Fire Department honored him and nurse Suzanne O'Rourke, who stopped at a motorcycle crash off the 202.
So I went over and they gave me a pair of gloves, and I took my turn doing some CPR. Unfortunately, it was already too late, and for the gentleman, he didn't survive the accident.
You act out of compassion and selflessness, and your actions truly are heroic.
Deeds done by everyday people doing extraordinary things to help.
Little angels help us out all the time, and some of us respond to it, and I'm just glad I was able to be used that morning.
I'm Javier Soto for 3 TV.
Rick?
That debit card could. Well, a few weeks ago, while delivering the news, a Mesa guy became the news. And as Javier explains this morning, he's being recognized a hero. Good morning.
Good morning, Tara, and our prop right behind us just fell, so we're kind of joking. But that gentleman is only one of 2 heroes receiving an award this morning from the Mesa Fire Department for basically springing into action when needed. This was a house fire that broke out in the early morning hours of August 4th. A newspaper delivery man by the name of Jason Hittinger was doing his usual morning routine, throwing papers to the folks out in the East Valley. That's when he spotted some smoke from a home off Calypso. So he immediately called 911 and then started ringing the doorbell and pounding on the front door. Little did he know there was an elderly woman inside that house asleep. She woke up. She was able to make it out of that burning home without injury. Also, because he got that fire department out there sooner than later, they were able to save the home. Now, also receiving an award today is a lady who was on her way to work. When she was driving along the 202, she saw a motorcycle accident, and so she sprung into action. She went to the aid of that motorcycle rider and started performing CPR. Of course, we will have a complete wrap-up tonight on Good Evening Arizona starting at 4:30, and you can always check azfamily.com. Tara?
I'm on that website regularly, Javier.
We need more and more good people like Suzanne O'Rourke and Jason Hittinger.
Definitely. Javier, thanks very much. Well, Valley families.
Flames exploding from a Mesa home.
And I could definitely see and smell smoke.
Firefighters rushed to the rescue near Broadway and Greenfield earlier this month to pull an elderly woman from the burning building. But they say it's a passerby who ultimately saved her life.
And I'm just so glad that she was able to get out.
Jason Hittinger was delivering newspapers when he saw flames shooting out of Miss Miller's home. He banged on the door and rang the bell, but got no answer. He called 911 and firefighters were there in minutes. They say Hittinger's the reason they saved Miss Miller and her home.
I'm honored. There's no doubt about it.
But Hittinger says he's not the real hero.
Not really considering myself a hero at all. And I think the firefighters are heroes, and I know that, like you said, that word gets thrown out a lot, but they deserve it because they put their lives on the line every day. I would just hope that someone else would do the same thing for me.
I'm Carrie Pena, 3 TV.
You know, so many good deeds go unnoticed. Not today, though. 2 good Samaritans were honored for their selfless acts. The Mesa Fire Department gave special recognition to a paper delivery man and to a nurse. Jason Hittinger spotted smoke coming from a home after calling 911. He knocked at the door and rang the bell. The elderly woman inside was sleeping, so what he did potentially saved her life.
Just wanted to find out if she was home or if she was there, and got a message from Forrest on my phone the next morning that I was being labeled a hero because Miss Miller heard me knocking on the door.
Also honored, Mayo Clinic nurse Suzanne O'Rourke, who witnessed a motorcycle accident on the Loop 202. She stopped and did CPR on the victim until paramedics arrived. Bravo to them.
Both of them as well. A San Diego police officer
Got some recognition from the Mesa Fire Department today. A paper delivery man and a nurse received awards for their selfless actions. Mayo Clinic nurse Suzanne O'Rourke witnessed a motorcycle accident. She stopped the car and went over to do CPR on the victim, even though her 2-year-old son was in the car.
I said, Mommy needs you to be a big boy right now. And he said, okay, Mommy. And he was, and so I went over and they gave me a pair of gloves, and I took my turn doing some CPR.
Paper delivery man Jason Hittinger saw smoke coming from a home and called 911. He then knocked in the door, waking the elderly woman sleeping inside and potentially saving her life.
All right, the downturn.
An angel there to do the same.
Call Russell Pierce from Office Plus.
I would hope that if it was someone I loved, that somebody would do it too.
Just hope that if I ever need that myself, there'll be an angel there to do the same.
2 Good Samaritans honored for helping complete strangers in emergencies.
Fox 10 News started
in his home. Also, 2 people, Good Samaritans, right place at the right time, and they get recognized for their good deeds. And how much felony counts? New at 6, the Mesa Fire Department spends the day honoring Good Samaritans for their work. Firefighters presented 2 people, Jason Hittinger and Suzanne O'Rourke. They're very proud, and they should be, a certificate. Thank them for their courage and bravery as they help complete strangers who needed help. O'Rourke's a registered nurse. She pulled over on the freeway and performed CPR on a motorcyclist who had just crashed, trying to save his life.
But I would hope that if it was someone I loved, that somebody would do it too. Whether they knew how or not, to at least try. And I think essentially what I want people to take away from it, or especially my son, is to know that if you can try, that you should.
Yeah, that's a great point there. Even though it's a stranger, somebody loves that person. And sadly, it was too late for the motorcyclist. And as for the other Good Samaritan, Hittinger woke up this elderly woman who was sleeping when her house was on fire.
The Good Samaritans to tell you about today. 2 others honored for going above and beyond. Jason Hittinger and Suzanne O'Rourke were the recipients of an award from the Mesa Fire Department. Hittinger was on a paper route when he noticed a lot of smoke coming from the attic of a home in Mesa, so he called 911, rang the doorbell. He woke up an elderly woman and saved her life. Suzanne was on her way to work at the Mayo Clinic on July 20th when she saw a motorcycle crash. She got out of the car and started CPR to try to save the motorcyclist's life.
And I just hope that if it was someone that I knew and loved, that someone would take that chance, if there was any chance at all, that they would try and help.
The Mesa Fire Department says it's important to honor everyday heroes to encourage other people to step up and do the same.